Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of National Institution for Quality and Reliability, I extended warm welcome for this virtual convention this evening on the theme Robust Quality for Survival and Growth. I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. S. Rajashekaran, National President, NIQR, to deliver the welcome address.
Guest of honor, Dr. Shivakumar, Managing Partner, RV Industries. Distinguished speakers for the convention, Mr. Satish Borwankar, Executive Director and COO of Tata Motors, and Sir A.K. Tomar, Executive Advisor, Corporate Planning, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Mr. B.C. Datta, Vice President, Hyundai Motors India Limited, and Mr. Satish Kumar, MD, Salcom India. Distinguished guests and industry leaders, student members, faculty members of various institutions, and the members of NIQR and the office bearers of NIQR. Very good evening. It is my pleasure to start this first digital convention by NIQR. Many of you are aware we conduct biennial conventions in a physical manner. Last convention was held in 2018 at the Chennai Trade Center where more than 1,000 delegates participated. It was a grand event for 2 days. This is the year for physical convention in 2020. Due to the pandemic, we have postponed the convention to 2021. But at NIQR, we never wanted to step back from our responsibility of conducting a convention, and we came out with the idea of conducting the first digital convention, the theme Robust Quality for Survival and Growth. I hope the entire evening for next 2 hours will be really a joyful experience for every participant, and there will be a lot of great takeaways from this convention which really helps them to sustain, survive, and also succeed in the near future.
Now I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. P.T. Bharani Perumal, Convention Secretary, NIQR, Chennai branch, to deliver on about the convention.
A delightful good evening to everyone who has joined with us for this convention. National Institution for the Quality and Reliability has been conducting a 2-day grand convention once in 2 years on different themes relevant to current industrial scenario. Why NIQR is conducting this convention? You can have this question in your mind. As one of the policies of NIQR is to play the role of an enabler for MSME and industries in general by familiarizing them with the latest trends and tools from time to time as a capability build-up measure. I welcome and thank you all for being part of this evening. Wish you all a happy virtual convention. Thank you.
Now I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Satish Borwankar, former Executive Director, Quality and Chief Operating Officer, Tata Motors, to deliver the session on sustainable growth of MSMEs through corporate handholding.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The corporates have high dependence on MSMEs for supplies of parts and assemblies. They are willing to handhold the MSME auto component suppliers. There is huge interdependence between the corporates and MSMEs. The role of automotive OEMs has become more of aggregators. They need many MSMEs to supply them parts as per their design specifications. Therefore, the MSMEs from whom the OEM source the components have to ensure the quality of parts as per the specification given by the OEMs to be successful. Quality has to become survival issue for MSMEs. OEMs would like to source components from MSME suppliers if the quality of parts supplied by them is of the top order consistently. When I was heading quality in Tata Motors, I had started an initiative called Project Sankalp. The purpose was to train all our low performing supplier employees to deliver right quality parts. There was commitment from our side that we shall help improve the quality of parts sourced from those suppliers through process improvements. They were also provided guidance for logistics of the parts supplied to Tata Motors. Tata Motors helped them make returnable containers for optimizing cost and ensuring quality. So a quality head has to be passionate, technically strong, ruthless for deviations, knowledgeable, and a good coach. Where to find such a human being at affordable salary? You all may be wondering. MSMEs, in my view, should look for retired quality professionals with all these attributes over 60 years of age. They are available at affordable compensation. Thanks to all of you for patient listening. Thank you very much.
Now I invite Mrs. Uma Ayyappan, Director Commercials, Ayyappan Engineering Industries Private Limited, to facilitate the question and answer session.
Thank you, sir. It was a very inspiring speech. And your project Sankalp is very inspiring and comforting to MSMEs. Hope this continues to all the MSMEs because they learn from them. And sir, there are some questions that we have posted. One is on pricing. If the quality is really good of a particular MSME, small company, but their pricing is slightly higher than the L1 pricing. But OEM generally go for L1 or a cost cutting measure. So the MSME, there are some MSMEs who will actually try to bring down the quality to match the competitive pricing. What do you say for that, sir?
Umaji, that's really very unfortunate. When I was Director Quality, I made deviations to what you said just now. There were suppliers who were supplying very cheap, but their quality was bad. We prefer to go to switch to the suppliers who delivered better quality. But at the same time, when one is in competitive environment, one would expect that even though those suppliers who are good quality, high price, they should find ways and means, they should innovate how to bring down the prices further. Just now, during my talk, I said 30%, 5%, 10% are mathematical errors. One has to take very stretch goals like 30%, 25%, 30%, 40%.
Now let us move on to second session by Mr. A.K. Tomar. I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. A.K. Tomar, Executive Advisor, New Projects and CSR Corporate Planning, Maruti Suzuki India, to deliver the session on challenges to quality in disruptive era.
First of all, I want to thank all members who have joined for today's session. Now, when we talk of disruption, so I have covered around almost 5 small topics. We'll discuss what is disruption and whether it is a challenge or an opportunity, what are the key ingredients of quality, impact of disruption on our quality, handling the pandemic situation. These are the core areas I'll be going through in my presentation today. So that Nokia was the topmost leader in making mobile phones with a market share of 58%. But they closed their eyes by whatever reasons, because of the volumes or because of market leadership. They did not visualize what competition is doing. And with the new platform coming and the smartphone pouring in, they could not compete with all the smartphones. And within 5 years' time, the market share fell down from 58% to 3%. And the CEO, in one of his speech from the Nokia, he said that we did not do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. So I think the competition and eye towards competition is a very, very important parameter, but a management in any industry should look for. Now, when I talk of disruption in business because of regulatory requirement, you know that Maggi noodle case, 200, very, very famous story, where only because of small regulation required that lead content in one of the Lucknow delivery place was noticed by regulators were on the higher side. Immediately, these regulators, food regulators, banned the sale of Maggi in 13 states suddenly. And not only states, the export from India to 6 countries, export was totally immediately stopped overnight. And what had happened to that? I can show you in the next slide. If you can see that Maggi has to go, is severe loss of 320 crores that particular year. And not only the loss financially, the Maggi brand value came down almost by $200 million. And it not only impacted the Maggi, it also impacted the tier 2 and tier 3 of their suppliers. And they went down by 40 to 50%. 70 to 80 flour mill were temporarily closed by them because they were not taking their material. Now, disruption of Maggi, which I shared, now I can say when Maggi was stopped, suddenly you find a lot of new players barged in and started producing noodles because there was market available, customers were waiting. And as a result, at the end, Maggi has also shared some volume of their business, which is going to the new competition. So this is maybe a loss to Maggi, but it was an opportunity for the new people who had joined in. Now, OTT platform, it is nothing new. You know that we cannot go to multiplexes and we cannot go to shopping malls. We have to be at home. So this has come out as a technology advancement to the OTT platform, direct to home, multiplexes, video rentals, they have all taken a backseat. But industry who are really benefited are internet companies, smartphones, small scale filmmakers, and most of us are watching Netflix, Prime Video every day. What I'm trying to show in this graph on the right side, the companies who did not invest in innovation and R&D after when the global recession was taken off and it became normal, these companies, which is showing on the right side, the red graph, they never had big jump in the business volumes and productivity, whereas the people during in recession also they invested in innovation and R&D, they had a real benefit after 5 to 10 years. So I would like to summarize that today in my presentation, I have covered disruption can be short term and the long term. You need to be best to beat the competition. Bigger the disruption, bigger the opportunity for the growth. Product quality is the key driver for the growth. 99% quality is not good enough, need to be zero defect. At the last, communicate, collaborate, and be transparent and work as a team with all the stakeholders, whether they are within plant, their customer, they are our suppliers. With this, I'll be having the final concluding slide. I can say normal is boring. And even in disruption, let us all rethink, reimagine, reinvent, and come out of this pandemic COVID as a winner. Thank you very much.
For QA, but instead of doing a physical checking during this COVID time, is there a way, a process that can be developed now for this?
See, most of the industries, I don't say Maruti, we have developed a SOP that during this time when we are not able to physically go, we can go through, we are doing the web conference also. This is what way we have visited the shop floors. We have visited the exact locations on the shop floor. We have discussed the defects. And if you can share, in the past also, frankly, because Maruti has been exporting to more than 100 countries, all countries we cannot visit, many of the defects were being discussed through web calls only.
I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. B.C. Datta, Vice President, Hyundai Motor India, to deliver the session on exploring opportunities for GDP growth through innovation.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks to NIQR for this opportunity given. Of course, I'm part of NIQR team here. The GDP issue, of course, is very hot and burning now today in India. Yeah, how do we, looking at this, what kind of steps we need to take to improve the present economy, present recovery? What kind of steps are being taken? So also the fiscal incentives, state government and also the central government have been offering several incentive packages, and this has definitely resulted in more and more economic activity and more action on the ground, so that the recovery happens, employment also comes back to the normal. In addition to that, of course, structural reforms and monetary measures, these two definitely will put India back on the track. And then we have also seen just now that though the GDP has grown negative -23, there's always a indication that it's going to go up. And then we have the finance ministry also informed, yesterday they were of course on the media saying that we are in that V curve, and then just we have touched the bottom and now we are going to grow up. So under these circumstances, how does the recovery happens and what kind of steps are we taking? The major two activities that definitely needs to be looked at is the manufacturing and construction. These two will definitely support the economy, support the GDP to come back to normal, and definitely we will hit the top once again in the coming quarters. PPE is one area which was when the pandemic started, somewhere we started the lockdown 1.0 in March. There was hardly any PPE manufacturing was available. It was actually imported. Now today we have a position, all thanks to all our industries and their zeal to make it in India. The whole PPE consumption is now only domestic. We don't import anything from abroad. Now we have also been asking the government to allow us to export, which government has now permitted, now that the PPEs are exported. This kind of an opportunity will come mainly because of this pandemic and its after effects. Ease of doing business ranking, and this ranking definitely we have improved in the recent past. Of course, there is all indication that it will go around 50 ranking. We will be among the 50 best countries to invest. So such is the effort taken by the government of India.
We are saying at one level that we will increase employment opportunities, and at the other end, the MSMEs are trying to adopt a technology so that they reduce cost and reduce labor dependency. So at one end, your labor opportunity is decreasing. The other end, we are saying we will be giving opportunity. We have to grow the job opportunity area. So how do we balance this?
Yeah, artificial intelligence, has put a lot of jobs at redundant. So there are opportunities, and MSMEs are really taking away the best because of this pandemic and because of this China conflict. So they will definitely benefit. There are more and more MSMEs will come into our start by our people. So also the ones that are already existing, they will also grow big. So this is a great time for MSMEs. Also, I must say here that the local, vocal for local has really caught up with these MSMEs. Added to that, government is giving a huge amount of banking support. Government is standing guarantee for the loans. More than that, what do you want? So definitely going to grow.
I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Sasikumar Gendam, Managing Director, Solcomp India, to deliver the session on emerging opportunities in virtual world.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, am I audible? Just show me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So quality. I mean, I'm not sure what this slide would mean to many, but everyone has their own interpretation of what quality means for existence. But then end of the day, we all know, at what price did we buy something? We all forget. But I don't think we ever forget the quality of a product because we experience it day in and day out. We have all really experienced in the last 5 months since March 23, or even slightly before that, what this pandemic has actually done to each and every one of us. I think there isn't a country, there isn't an organization, and there is an individual who has not been impacted by this pandemic. But then every crisis also provides an opportunity, and therefore, in this specific case, the getting quality in the form of digitalization has really activated fast. And in this new change, it's all about data driven. I mean, wherever you are in the world, it's all about data. It's so much data driven, and you get data real time. And we are using this as a forward looking process, meaning we use this data in such a way that it's helping our future predictability and all those. So therefore, this pandemic situation, I would say, has only accelerated our growth and our adoption towards digital technologies as far as quality and reliability is concerned. This is not only connecting the quality function or the manufacturing function, but today it's connected across all the organizations, from almost HR to until finance, until you recruit a new employee and you paid your vendors. I think every single process is towards digital today, and the digital transformation is here to stay. And every function is not just depending on each other. I mean, it's not just independent anymore. So they're all so interdependent, and they're so interconnected. And this transition from quality assurance and moving to digital assurance, I think that's happening more faster than we ever expected. And the information today that we have, all the data that we collect from our manufacturing processes, design, supply chain, whatsoever it is, they are all accessible anywhere, anytime. As an example that I would say, one of our customers are from the US, but then the production here that happens in Chennai, in Sriperumbudur, is 100% available. The data is available real time, on time to the customer there. If there is a problem, they know next second that there is a problem in the production floor. I mean, gone are the days where you have to send an email or a fax, or you have to call the customer and tell them, now I have a problem, what to do next. I think they call you and tell you what to do next. Whether you have to move forward or you have to stop the line and then make actions and move forward. So it is that fast these days. And when it comes to all the equipments, the technology is moving forward. They're also talking to each other. I mean, you have all the equipments connected, or they call it manufacturing execution systems. So one equipment is talking to the other, and then, if the data is not within the control limits of, 3 or 4 consecutive data points, they definitely talk to each other and do a kind of a self-regulation or self-alignment. That's how, the world is changing today. And next is the maintenance and service. I mean, using the augmented reality, where, you use a virtual tool, and then, you kind of measure, you do all the measurements, and, you can also see the aging factors, and all of that is possible with the VR at least, and AR. So these are the new things that's at least on the maintenance and service areas for equipments. But the next opportunity, or the biggest opportunity that we all see, is also that, the future of learning, especially with the AR and VR. In introduction, they mentioned employment. I think we are planning now to recruit 10,000 people. It's not 1,000, so 10,000 people. And imagine if we have to train all the 10,000 people one by one, it would really be kind of, a daunting task. But then with the AR and VR, you have to get this done once, that's it. And then, you really train all your 10,000 people exactly same way. I mean, you see how much technology is aiding in this and making lives of the people from training functions, or other functions who are supporting them, really making life easier. And at the same time, using the digital technologies, you communicate the data exactly in the same way to all your operators, all your staff, whether they're in all the 3 shifts, different factories. This is the possibility of AR and VR, and this is a reality already now. And the next is, let's all be ahead of the curve, and we have to embrace this change. I think it's either do it or not do it. I mean, if we do, we grow. If we don't do, I think we die. As simple as that. And being ahead of the curve is especially very important for MSME organizations. And also, as previously Speaker Mr. Datta mentioned, huge opportunities that's coming towards India. That's a reality.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just take about 2 months back, we wouldn't have thought about a virtual convention. But today we have a virtual convention with speakers from Pune, from Delhi, from Chennai, and many listeners from across the country. That is the opportunity that we have seized. during this pandemic days. I was also delighted to speak on the topic, robust quality for survival and growth. Listening to the earlier speakers, it was truly an enlightening session with carefully chosen topics, each one emphasizing the need on quality. And India, all these show that India has arrived. Mr. Borwankar, you've been a veteran, sir, and what you spoke by the company. If he loves innovation, ask yourself, is my company very innovative? Can I accommodate him? Will he be part of the culture of the company? If these probing questions are answered, then you're onboarding a person who can really matter a lot for the growth of the company. The second one that I want to quality is the key. Invest on your people, engage with them, learn and implement the TQM principles, and bring about quality improvements. And if you can do this, your customers are going to say, wow, they're going to be delighted. Nothing is a constant. Therefore, continuous improvement is a must. And finally, I must tell you what I told in 2004, and I'm repeating it today, is that we need to be nimble-footed. It is not the large eating the small. It is the fast eating the slow.
We at NIQR are planning to conduct our next convention, hopefully a physical convention, in August 6th and 7th, 2021 in Grand Chola Hotel, and for which we request you all to participate so that all of us contribute to the quality movement in India and worldwide. Thank you, one and all. Now the convention is come to an end. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.